Today in Moviewallas, we talk about Novocaine and Black Bag. It's time for Moviewallas. Hi, this is Joe.
Hi, this is Yazdi.
And Rashmi as well.
Moviewallas is your weekly dose of film reviews, movie news, and general banter. In theatres, on DVD, online streaming, or in the back of an airplane. If you love the movies, this show is for you. You did it this time, didn't you?
I did it this time.
Okay, you messed it up. You mixed it up.
I did, and Yazdi took the cue.
He did. That was a really good yes
And
and
I was multitasking.
I know. Because Yazdi can multitask.
No,
If you
I cannot.
didn't listen to our last episode, those are all references to things that have, first of all, why not? Listen. Don't just listen when there's a movie that you want to watch. Listen to all our episodes. They're good.
This is true, yes.
That was fun. Okay. So we are here to talk about two movies and also this wonderful mochi cake that Yazdi made.
Yeah, Joe, I don't often ever see you ask for a second slice of cake. Honestly, Yazdi, Joe does not ask for it.
It's a very cake.
It's from a box from Trader Joe's, but I've made it before and it's
No,
really
but you
good.
added things in to make it more
I
delicious.
added some passion fruit, real passion fruit.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, which courtesy of Victoria and Steve. It's from their garden. Yes.
Thank you, Victoria and Steve.
Yes.
It's so unusual.
Yeah.
I've never had like mochi cake
And
before.
it's not super
not overly
sweet. It's
no.
delicious.
Yeah.
Yazdi's a good baker.
I am a good baker.
You're really good.
I'm an
texture.
okay baker. I
No,
love
you're
baking.
a good baker, I think.
I like baking.
You can say you're a good baker.
Okay, I'm a good baker.
It's a master baker.
Yes. I'm a master baker. Baker!
It's a very interesting texture, this cake, though. I'm really quite enjoying it.
It's very chewy.
Yeah,
I
Joe,
love
I'm
it.
just
If
shocked.
you like chewy
You just
things,
never love cake.
yes,
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
of course.
Okay.
Netflix picks.
Only two movies this week, so
Yes.
we do have time to talk about our usual segment of I can't find anything to watch on video on demand. So while I quickly go and find something to watch on video on demand to recommend, you two can tell me what's been in your streaming queues.
I will. My number 3 movie of 2025 was a movie that we all saw together in the beautiful Egyptian theater in Los Angeles, and it was the Indian movie Kill.
Yay!
Which, as I mentioned at that time, I'm not a fan of bloodletting. I'm not a fan of extremely violent films. But I've seen that movie now in theater twice, and it's so good. And
It's so good.
That movie, Kill, Kill, is available on streaming on Hulu for free. If you have Hulu, you can watch it. It's not for the squeamish. When it's violent, it gets violence, but there is so much righteous bloodletting, right? When bad things happen, this guy's out to get revenge.
Yeah.
It's almost like Rambo-like in terms of it's like undeterred determination to exact revenge.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's hermetically sealed. The whole movie, most of the movie happens on a train ride. Stick through the first 20 minutes of the movie until they get on the train, and then you're in for a ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we said during the Muggies, and we said it after we saw it, this is kind of like John Wick meets Bullet Train meets...
Speed, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of speed in there. Yeah, it's great.
It was bonkers.
It's bonkers good.
Unhinged and very, very...
So playing on Hulu, right?
Playing
Yazdi?
on Hulu, yes.
Okay, and I have a really good pick too. The movie Heretic, which with Hugh Grant. And this is about two young missionaries who are forced to prove their faith when they knock on the wrong door, and they're greeted by a diabolical Mr. Reed, who's played by Hugh Grant. This is so good. This was on my list to watch last year, and I just never got around to it. It's running still at 91% on the tomato meter. This is, look, it's a horror as such, but it's actually more than that. It's a really good exploration of what is faith and what is religion and what religions mean. It's so good. It's so good. I really want Joe to watch this because a lot of our discussions around the dining table are about religion and organized, Are they cults? What do they provide for people? And this just does that so beautifully. But it's also gory and horror-esque.
Yeah,
it's a thriller. Have you watched it, Yazdi?
Yes, and I don't want to over-intellectualize it, which you absolutely should after you watch it. But I think you should just watch it as a good suspense horror movie.
Yeah.
At that level.
Did you like it?
I was a little disappointed with the conclusion because I was expecting, I don't want to give anything away. I was expecting a little more twist to it.
Okay.
It just became kind of more generic towards the end.
Yeah.
But the first hour and a half are just brilliant. It's such a good cat and mouse.
It's so good.
And it's playing with your head. And there are some genuinely creepy, not creepy, like it's not going to make you lose sleep. But in the moment, you're like,
yeah.
And Hugh Grant, like, okay, Hugh Grant only always does Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
but
he's not Hugh Grant in this.
Yeah, but if you doubt his versatility, see what he's doing here. I mean, and he's, I don't know, he's a good actor, damn it. He's a damn good actor.
So, yeah.
And he, it's so much on display because he's, I think, in every scene of the movie. Maybe not, but yeah, he's amazing. So people should watch Heretic.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah.
I was able to find a pick, and that is one of my favorite movies from last year, coming out on March 21st on the streaming service Max, which is HBO, whatever it is, and that's the movie Sing Sing.
Oh,
three Academy Award nominations for the movie: Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Song, and Best Actor for Coleman Domingo. Sing Sing is about a group of incarcerated men who form a theatre group.
Based on a real story.
Based on a real story.
of the guy who's actually in the movie.
With the guy whose story it is in the movie. It was one of the most emotionally wrenching movies for me, not in the moment, but at the end. And I think, I was pretty choked up about it for a good few days after following. So it's not a happy movie in the sense of... it's not kind of a joyful theatre movie if you were expecting that, but it is a wonderful exploration of people, of morality, of society, of incarceration.
Redemption, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it affected me quite strongly because, from time to time I kind of dehumanize the whole idea of prison. I'm like, throw them in there and lock away the key, and that's not who I am, and that's not how it's not how we should be. But this movie gets under your skin. Very powerful. And
I agree that it's not ha-ha funny at any point. It's a very serious movie, but I think I'm not giving anything away. It leaves you with the slightest glimmer of hope.
Yes.
So it's not like just, life sucks and we're all going to die, right? It kind of is being hopeful about being hopeful.
Absolutely.
At the very end, and I love that.
Absolutely. It's note perfect.
Yeah.
And, it's not for everyone. But,
yeah, I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so Rashmi, your pick was?
Heretic on Netflix.
Yazdi, you had?
I had Kill on Hulu.
And my pick was Sing Sing from March 21st. You can catch that on Max. Okay, review time. So let's talk about our two movies, Novocaine and Black Bag. We'll tackle them in that order.
Allow me to introduce Novocaine. So Novocaine is by directors Dan Beck and Robert Olsen. They each individually have directed a lot of films. I believe this is their first collaboration together. It's based on a story from writer Lars Jacobson, and it stars Jack Quaid in the title role, along with Amber Mid-Thunder. Mid-Thunder, I like that last name. I want my last name. Henceforth, call me Yazdi Mid-Thunder. Anyway, Ray Nicholson, Jacob Batalon, and a few others. And the premise for the movie sounds wonderful to me. I love these kinds of high gimmick concepts. Mm-hmm. So when the girl of his dreams is kidnapped, a man incapable of feeling physical pain turns his rare condition into an unexpected advantage in the fight to rescue her. I am a fan of Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
I think he's been around for a while. He's been doing great stuff, both on television as well as in movies. He was in that romantic comedy, which we watched at Tribeca.
The Date, something.
The Date,
yeah,
right.
No, it wasn't The Date. It was called like...
They go to different weddings.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the first time that I'm seeing him like in an, dare I say, comedy action movie kind of lead. So I'm glad to see him get a lead role. You guys both saw it. Do I need to...
+1.
+1. That was the movie.
That was the movie.
Do I need to stop recording this podcast and rush out and watch it?
Rashmi.
Oh, no. Is it too much?
No, it's not a rush out and see, but it's definitely, if you're not doing anything next weekend, then put this on your calendar. This is a fun caper, which is kind of like John Wick but funny in some ways. It's got some good twists and turns. It's well acted, great effects, absolutely great effects, gruesome violence. The whole concession in this movie is that Jack Quaid plays this character who you can do anything to and he just doesn't feel the pain. And so that's the concession of the movie, right? There wouldn't be a movie if that character didn't exist. So I'm grappling with the... almost like the movie we did last time, the one I was talking about where the one concession, it's like...
The Last Breath?
Yeah, The Last Breath. If there wasn't that one event that hadn't happened, then you wouldn't have the movie. So it's kind of a one-note movie, but it's done really, really well, I think. And it's a fun ride. It's very enjoyable. It's high energy. It's got a really high energy about it. So again, it's not a rush out and see, but I think you should watch this.
Okay.
Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a very small movie, and it feels... Don't take this the wrong way because I know you hated it, Yazdi, but it feels reminiscent of Love Hurts in the sense of it's that small,
Yeah.
early filmmaker. It's not like a big production like a John Wick or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's got a very homemade feel in some ways, and the
But it's a man on a quest, like John Wick.
The
you know that
outrageousness of the special effects at times is. It's like you could have dialed that one back a little bit for more impact. It's what was it? I think was it Tarantino who kind of said, if you see somebody's head get blown off, you don't feel anything, but if you see someone with a paper cut, you're like, oh, they went too far on
some of them,
this kind of thing. But it does work. It's very, very earnest, right?
Yeah.
This movie is really, really. They've taken a concept that could be a short movie and they've expanded it into a full-length feature, and it doesn't quite work at all times. But there's an earnestness to the characters.
A
sweetness to the characters. The plot worked really well for me. I mean, it had its twists and turns and genuinely had me a gasp at one point. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it really earns its likes. It feels like it's hardworking, and it really wants to be a fun, entertaining movie, and it's not perfect, and it's a little underwritten, and the characters are a little clunky, and it plays out for the most part as you'd expect it to. But it's working so hard to be fun, and I admire it for that.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, again, it's Jack Quaid's journey, but it's more of like just an event that happens, and then we kind of follow the caper. There's like an inciting incident, and then we follow the story. There's not like a huge arc.
So I want to call back Love Hurts. Because, Yazdi, you said the chemistry between the two leads there didn't work for you at all. If it had, it would have been like this.
Yeah, that's true.
There is, there's a guy in love with a girl who needs at all costs to help to rescue her, and he's not.
He's the one who needs rescuing.
He's the one who needs. He's not skilled
emotionally
in so many ways.
Yeah, in so many ways. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, as the movie goes through its plots and twists, he's not a hero. He's not an action hero, but he is. He needs to, and at whatever cost it is to him, he needs to be the hero here, and so it works wonderfully well.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with
It's
Novocaine.
just such a fun Friday night decompress movie, right? This is the one where you have a few beers and you go see it with your mates.
Sure.
No, I think it's more.
But it's sweet.
It's more earnest. Than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I would say this should have been the movie that
I think
Love
this is
Hurts
a
was.
Yazdi movie.
Yeah,
There's a
maybe
bit of
I'll watch it.
romance.
Yeah. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
There was an Indian movie which came out in 2018 called Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota, which
Okay.
means the man who cannot feel pain.
Oh.
That literally is the premise of this movie, which is about this young man who realizes he has congenital insensitivity. He cannot feel any pain. I haven't seen the movie, but a lot
I
of people
wonder
have said
if
it's very
it's,
funny.
oh,
So
okay.
I don't know. There's some similarity in the plot there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Let's go
score.
with it.
Yeah, I had super fun with this. It is. I should warn people. I mean, it earns every minute of its R rating. I mean, it is really
It's gruesome.
violent.
It's gruesome.
It's really violent.
Yeah.
I just rewatched RoboCop this morning. Not the full movie, but we had our TV blew up, so we got a new TV, and I put RoboCop on to look at the picture. And there's a scene in RoboCop where the original RoboCop from the 80s, where arms get blown off, and
Yeah.
it's Paul Verhoeven level of kind of violence. I could have dialed that back a little bit because I don't think this movie needed it. It would have been a lot more. It could have been a PG-13 and been just as fun. But nonetheless, I liked it a lot. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too.
8 out of. You're very generous
Yeah, I was
today.
gonna say, for me,
What's
it's a
going on,
7.
Joe?
Because this was fun. This was really fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah, for me it's a 7. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the escapism I needed in the
it's just-
moment. I've had a
super
horrible
fun.
week
Super
at work,
fun.
and I was just like, this put a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
Good,
It's really cute.
Good.
Yes, I want you to see this.
I will.
Okay.
Movie number 2
Which
of the
I'm
week
so excited to talk to you
is
about.
Black Bag.
Okay, and I have the intro. So, when intelligence agent Catherine Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, also a legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or his country. This is directed by Steven Soderbergh, who seems to be putting them out like constantly,
He quit.
right?
He has to. Oh yeah, he quit like 3 years ago. But
Yeah, and
he's
then
been
and
doing
2 years.
Just this year, he's released. This is the second movie in March. His second movie in he
What
made
was the first one?
It's a horror movie called Presence, which came out in January, which was very well reviewed. We never saw it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, that's also because we're chicken.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and it's written by David Cope. This has a wonderful cast, including Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, Marissa Abela, who we saw in the Amy Winehouse movie last year, Naomi Harris, Martin Bassendale, Gustav Skarsgård, another Skarsgård sibling child here, Tom Burke, Regé Jane Page, who we haven't seen since Bridgerton, and a whole host of others, including Pierce Brosnan, actually, is here.
Yes.
So when spy meets spy, what did you think of this? Yazdi, kick us off.
I can talk about this for an hour. I'll just start by saying I really, really liked it. I think there is a shortage of good, smart, beautiful looking, intellectual spy movies. Right? I mean, most spy movies either go like overly like silly and tacky, or they might go for like, really heavy stuff like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. This one is tongue-in-cheek. Soderbergh knows his way around, a spy movie. I mean, he's done hundreds of them. I mean, he re-energized the whole Ocean's 11 franchise. He's done, what else did he do? He's done Lucky Logan. He knows his way around a heist movie, around like a movie where, different people are kind of playing a game. You don't know who's telling the truth. But there is something so polished and gleaming and brainy and fun about it that even though it's a small movie, it felt like I really came out so happy with this movie. I have a few small little things to pick on, but this movie just made me happy. It made me happy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is excellent film craft. I mean, the movie, it just gets into it from the opening scene. There's no kind of preamble setting the stage. It's just like we are into this little world which took a little adjusting to because the characters were very. They were characters, right? You knew what they were about, and you didn't quite believe them, but you don't have to because they're characters in a movie. It's like the movie Clue, right? You have the doctor, and you have everyone is who they are with integrity and their behavior. So, but it weaves its little puzzle and web so intricately and so perfectly, and even when I'm kind of puzzling my way out of putting it all together because the movie was above me, I never caught up with it until the very end.
Me too.
Me too.
So, maybe okay, then I don't feel quite as stupid because I think there were clues that I think could have helped me thread it together, but it was well ahead of me all the way. So yeah, really, really clever, beautifully written, well executed. Like I say, this is like a masterclass in film.
Yeah.
This is what this should be held up at film school as like, you kind of want to get to this.
I love this movie. So first of all, I think this is Soderbergh's audition for Bond. I really hope that Soderbergh gets to do a Bond movie.
I don't want this to be the Bond.
I would love to see him do a Bond.
But
that's what I'm saying.
I don't want this to be the flavor of Bond.
No. But I'm just saying, I think this kind of spy thriller, action, intrigue, is his. I hope this is his audition to direct the next Bond. I love the fact that opening scene is one shot, right? It's one take. We're following a character. We're following all the way. It's like a good, I would say 7-minute opening.
I don't think I appreciated that in the movie.
It's a good 7 minutes.
The camera just follows him.
It's just going up and down. It was like the Scorsese shot in Goodfellas, right? When they're walking through the restaurant.
That night club he's going through. It's all a single take.
I need to see it again just for that because I didn't see that in the moment.
Yeah. So I love that. I love it. This is so stylish and polished, like you said, Yazdi. This has one of the best wardrobes I've seen in a movie ever. Like I was just looking at Cate Blanchett and all the women's characters and thinking, I want this in my wardrobe. Like, that's a really nice way to put that outfit together. Phenomenal. And I love that Cate Blanchett is playing so against type. Like she's always Cate Blanchett, but she's this kind of like, arrogant, long dark hair, sexy spy, who doesn't want to be her? So I just love this. I think it's a really fun story. Fassbender is always great. He's so good in this. It's got oodles of style, but in a good way. Marissa Abella is so good. Naomi Harris is so good. Roger Jean, like everyone is playing, and then there's these wonderful scenes. There's these wonderful scenes. I love that kind of. Clue is a good way to describe it, Joe. Clue is a really good call out. There's this wonderful scene when they're all at the dinner table and someone's lying, and you don't know who's lying. And I love that kind of cat and mouse. It's very, very good.
So the movie starts with that premise that Michael Fassbender's character is told by an agent that
someone's lying.
That amongst this group of 6 people who he's going to have over for dinner, one of them is lying, one of them is a spy, and it includes his wife.
Yes.
That's how the movie begins, and he invites these people over for dinner.
Yes.
Just the conversation around the dinner, I could just listen to them talk for like hours.
Yes.
So David Koepp and Soderbergh have a great collaboration. He's written lots of movies, but this is a very evolved piece of work.
Yes,
absolutely.
And the production, the houses, the offices, where is this in London? Where is this house in London?
So every place that they go to, it's so stylish. Every place that they go to seems to have these angular pieces, right? The walls are angular, the ceilings are angular.
Yeah, there's a tree growing in the middle of the house that you can look at from all sides of the house. Just beautiful.
And then he does this weird thing which was bothering me at first, and it really bothered me while I was watching the movie. But then when I came out of it, I'm like, why not? It's a stylistic choice where there is this diffused light at all the time. And it really bothered me because I couldn't see people's faces because there were these lamps or giant orbs which are just like kind of diffused, and maybe something was wrong with my contacts, but it's so stylish.
Yeah, but it's not style without
Yeah,
like style without substance, right? The dialogue here is so rich and spicy and fruity. Just the way that everyone talks to each other and the depth of which they talk about, and how the characters, how the kind of show don't tell, in essence, of the way the dialogue is constructed that tells you the history of the relationships between each of these characters. That's what made me marvel a lot. And,
you know, we have seen 100 spy movies. We've seen 100 Bond movies. But we have never seen one where the lead, in this case Michael Fassbender, is playing it so close to his chest. He never raises his voice in the movie.
Yeah.
He's very, very reserved and impenetrable. And, you know, he speaks softly. And even when he finally, in the last act, he never raises his voice. And I think that was a very, you know, it's kind of breaking the mold and the expectation of how your lead character should behave. He's so debonair and so like cultured, and you know, he's almost beyond yelling, and yet he has it all figured out by the end. And it's and yeah, Cate Blanchett is almost always you know, the lead, the tiger who is going to eat everybody else up in all the movies she's in. Here she's not that tiger who's going to eat everybody up, but she's no rabbit either.
Correct.
You know, and her relationship with her husband is always a big question mark. Like, it's playing with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but it's so much more smart and stylish and savvy and sexy and clever.
Yeah. Those three-piece suits.
Yeah.
My God, the wardrobe just blew me away.
Yeah.
No, it's so expertly crafted. I think this must have had like 1,000 rewrites.
Yeah.
Because
so tight.
It is airtight, and every scene, and it's like 90 minutes. So every single line of dialogue adds something to the plot. There's no fluff in here at all.
No.
Yeah, and you have to keep up, right? I'm not saying it's difficult to keep up, but you have to pay attention. It demands your attention. And because because it's so well done, it gets your attention, right? I was a little frustrated in that, you know, this is one of those movies I need to see with subtitles, just because there's so much rich dialogue, and there are words that I missed. And you know, there are, you know, maybe people's accents, maybe it was the sound in the movie theater, there was some distraction going on around us. I was kind of, you know, the person sitting next to me, you know, had felt the need to, well, the person sitting next to you, Rashmi, felt the need to narrate her. No, felt the need to narrate her thoughts.
Oh,
you know, she's like, oh my God, you know. So.
I remember her. Yes.
Yeah. I was next to the talking couple, and
I was just like, oh, I don't want to tell her to shut up, but I want to tell her to shut up because, you know, she's just being in the moment, and she straddled that line of not being quite annoying enough for me to kind of, you know, shut up. This is not your living room. But
I mean, this writer, David Kopp, he's written Jurassic Park, the original one. He was the only writer for it, the screenplay. He wrote Death Becomes Her. I
love Death Becomes Her.
You know, he wrote the original Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. He wrote Snake Eyes, that movie. He wrote Panic Room. I mean, this is a writer who for 20 plus years has been honing his craft and has written tons of classic movies right now, and you can see the evolved nature of the writing in this movie. It's just incredible. The only thing I didn't like about the movie was the music. It just seemed...
Oh, no. I was going to call that out.
You were going to... For me, it just felt too jazzy. It felt too...
stylized.
Yeah, but it almost felt like... You know, you can improvise, but this seemed too improvised to me. But I don't know, maybe it's just me expecting a certain kind of music for a movie about spies versus spies, and it didn't provide that, and so maybe I'm commenting. But yeah, it's great.
To me, it just added to the texture of the movie. It was unusual. It got your attention. You noticed it.
Yeah.
You know, and that may be a good or a bad thing. I think in your case, a bad thing. But for me, I'm like, you know, this is a very stylishly put together music. It's like again, you have that kind of jazzy feel to the Oceans, you know, bongos playing and all of that kind of, you know, 60s spy sound. it played out like a heist as well. I mean, I think it owes a debt of gratitude to the Ocean's movies, and that, you know, Soderbergh got to do that thing really well with the multiple characters and the multiple threads and the coming together. So
I mean, there's just this great montage of all the characters going through a polygraph test. The editing, the editing in this movie is absolutely beautiful. I don't normally notice editing, but this one again really, really stood out to me. I really enjoyed this. I can wrap this up. This is a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. 8.5 out of 10, which, what the heck? I would have downgraded to an 8, but I'm going to do a 9, and I'll tell you why I'm going to do a 9. This movie was made with $50 million. That's it, right? It was made with, and this includes all the salaries and the cost of production.
With this cast?
With this cast.
Goodness, man.
And my thing is, Soderbergh is churning these out, and we don't seem to appreciate that we are living in the time of, you know, Soderbergh putting out one so varied and different movies.
Yeah.
The movie, in its opening weekend, it made less than $1 million.
What?
Right? So I think they're doing a slow release, like a tiered release. But if people who like good cinema don't go out and watch movies like Black Bag, then you will be stuck with, you know, I don't know, the 17th sequel of Pirates of the Caribbean or some rubbish horror movie. When there's good, smart, stylish, well put together cinema, we need to support it. So people, please go watch Black Bag. Support all these wonderful actors and this amazing filmmaker who should be celebrated more.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, you get a 9 as well. Yeah. Okay, Joe.
Yeah, another 9 from me. This is really, really fun. It's polished to a fine sheen, and you know, it's perfection in the sense of I have no criticisms of it. It's so compact and tight and water sealed and efficient. It feels like very efficient filmmaking here. There's no bloat. There's no in the writing. There's no bloat in the acting. The actors do their thing. They have one kind of note to play most of the time, but when they change, you believe. Just fabulous stuff. And I didn't get it. And I was so happy at the end when it all played out.
When it all clicked,
because
finally,
it did with integrity. There was no, you know, there were no MacGuffins, and there were no
correct
sleights of hand.
Correct.
There was nothing introduced at the last minute. You know, the god. What is it called?
Ex Machina.
Yeah, thank you.
Deus Ex Machina. The level of confidence in this movie is reflected in how it ends. It's not a movie where the last 20 minutes is New York City being destroyed endlessly, where things are just blowing up, and people are shooting at each other and you don't know who's doing whom. The movie ends at a dinner table with just the right, it's just the right, perfect, snappy, quick, perfect ending, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it gets out of Dodge.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
efficient.
Like it's not, you don't need like this building crescendo of violence and, you know, like, you know, everybody's hanging from the walls or anything. It's in and out. It's so efficiently done and with so much confidence.
And no 25 epilogues. Like, it just ends where it needs to.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I was sitting in my seat with that like little giddy feeling that you get when you've seen something really good.
Yeah.
You know.
And I love that Naomi Harris, who has been in all the Bond movies, and, you know, Marissa Abela, who played Amy Winehouse, they really get to shine. I mean, they have their own individual little roles, but both of them are so good in their roles, right? Naomi Harris plays this, psychiatrist? And it imagines a spy world, which I don't know how close it is to truth, but it was so educational to me. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this happened. Like, if you as a spy do certain things, then you are required to spend certain number of sessions with a psychologist. And I just the whole
was so
thing.
Smart. It was everything.
Smaller roles. Pierce Brosnan.
Tom
Burke, who we last saw in Furiosa, driving the rig in Stowaway.
Oh yeah,
you know,
he has a major role here. He's so good.
But he doesn't, right. And so it's just, it's all really good, fun stuff.
It's very good. Very, very good.
People, watch Black Bag.
Yep,
You
Black Bag.
should,
Black
yes.
Bag is the winner.
That's a great early 25
Yes.
movie.
Yep.
Yes.
Again, I think
Yeah.
one that's going to sit on the list for the rest of the year. I wish Soderbergh did play get the awards game in some way. I mean, I feel like this is one that might be, might be overlooked as we get through the rest of the year, just because, things do get drowned out with the noise, but stay with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap up for today. Thank you for listening to Moviewallas. We appreciate you. Yazdi, thank you for the mochi cake.
And the lovely pistachios. And
quite
tea.
tasty.
Yes.
We will be back again, hopefully not too long from now, with more reviews. It's picking up. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 screenings this week.
Yeah.
So the momentum is back, and
Love it.
I hope that is a good sign for the year, because I keep hearing of theaters going away. We lose another theater in San Diego. So stop listening to the podcast. Go watch a movie, people.
Yeah.
That's what I will say.
And he may have a third movie coming out before the end of 2025. So anyway. Soderbergh. It's called The Christophers.
He is a workaholic.
He really is.
Yeah.
All right. Too many movies, too little time then. A goodbye from me.
And me.
And me as well.